cases to serial killers, missing persons, and more.
100% he did this.
I'd go off into fantasy world.
How much more lucky can you get that you're not on death row?
You want to know what we know.
My name is Jay. This is Guilty of Crime.
Hello, everybody. I'm back again. It's Jay with Guilty of Crime. As you can see. Now, hello. I'm going to say hi to as many people as I can. Thank you, Davey, for being here and being a mod once again. Not 100% on this, but I think that's about right. Yes, folks. I'm hearing all the news that's dropping. I hear Jen Soto's, her attorneys are going to be on ABC tomorrow morning. I'm hearing all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I can't take a day off because when I do, I'm still bombarded anyway. Hello, Sherry. I'm just going to call you Sherry P. I just dropped a video today for members only. Tomorrow, you'll be able to see it. If you're not a member and you can't afford to be a member, what's up, Monica? Hello, Crime Crew, everybody. We got the Crime Crew. We got the Crime Crew official fire. Yes. Y'all, you know what we're here for today? There's a whole bunch of other channels that want to lock Jen up, that want Jen to go to jail, and I'm one of them, and I'm here to keep the awareness going. What's up, Cheech? How's it going? Good afternoon, everybody. The Real Me Too, Jazz's Outlet. Thank you for loving my channel. Thank you, Cindy and Lowbird29, Beverly Beso, hello. Athena Van, what is up? All right. So, first thing I want to address today is number one, be on the lookout for that video. I talked to CM. CM is the ex-roommate. And I talked to her mom. We're going to call her JM and CM. I have more to come with that. CM is very fired up. All right. Thank you, Nina Drew, for the super sticker. I appreciate that. Hit that like button, y'all. I got 173 people in here. And if you hit that like button, that helps me out more than you know. All right. Because we want a large audience. We want the things that are happening. Okay. I had a wonderful Monday. I talked to Paula from Plunder, and what a beautiful woman she is. She's so generous. She's a subscriber to my channel. She subscribes to my channel. She watches my channel and she knows who I am. Little old me. Isn't that nice? All right. So first thing I'm going to start off, and then I'm going to get into Paula Plunder. And the reason I am is because everybody's looking for documents here. I reached out to Paula. She's got a request for the documents. Court TV's got a request for the documents. I've got a request for the documents with Paula, the docket. All of us are all trying to get court documents, folks. I don't know if Jose Baez, I heard that from Vinnie Politan today. I watched that as well. I love Paula from Plunder. What's up, Julio? We love. Hi, Jay. We missed you so much. Love. Well, you can watch me today. I just dropped a video that I actually filmed today. So, yeah, I saw that too. I have Vinny chat. Jen's attorney will be at ABC News tomorrow morning. So let's watch out for that. I won't be able to have my Watch Wednesday. If that's the case, then I'll have to go on and come and talk to y'all. Blah, blah, blah. Buckle up, Buttercup. I'm still working on getting you to be a mod. Blah, blah, blah. I didn't forget about it. All right, folks. First thing I want to address is blunt force trauma of possible COD. All right. That's my first thing I need to address. I don't leave people hanging. I try not to anyway. I can't answer all of my emails, but I just saw this and somebody was calling me out in another forum about the COD that I had posted. And let's see if I can click on that. All right. So let's see if did I share my screen properly. I did. All right. So somebody called me out. I don't have a GoFundMe. I'm not sure what we're talking about. This isn't the GoFundMe. With the GoFundMe, I missed you didn't miss my live. It was a pre-record and it's coming out for those who are not members tomorrow. So if you're just a subscriber, which is just as good, you'll be able to catch it tomorrow. It's the roommate claps back. She has something to say now that she knows what Jen Soto was doing with Stephen Stearns. Okay, folks? So that's going to hit tonight at midnight, everybody. Watch out for that. For you people in Australia, CM, excited to finally see you live. That's funny that there's a CM because CM is the name of our ex-roommate, but I know this is not the same CM. So Monica Casey, thank you so very much. I appreciate every single one of you. All right, so somebody in the Justice for Madeline Soto, Justice for Maddie, Kenna Cummins, called me out in a forum and said, I saw this last night. I was wondering, y'all, think about this information. I'm skeptical, but many people said she wouldn't put this out if it wasn't verified. Now, this was on my channel 5 weeks ago, and she's got a COD was being leaked 5 weeks ago, and then now it's coming out again. I'm going to show you. I'm not sure that it's the truth, but it's what I was told. The source that told me is credible. It doesn't mean I know for sure. A lot of people have heard that. Okay, so LOL. No, Carmen C. Yeah, our ex roommate is CM. So what's up? So I'm calling myself out right here, and I'm showing it again. It says, based on an autopsy report, the cause of Madeline Soto's death was determined to be blunt force trauma to the head. The report indicated that the injuries were similar to those caused by a heavy object, such as a rock or bat. The severity of the injuries suggests the attack was brutal and sustained. All right, so I'm calling myself out, folks. Somebody called me out. I'm calling you out. You're calling me out. I'm calling myself out. We're all calling it out. I'm not afraid to talk about what I said. I'll be blown away if Bias representing Jennifer Soto too. I know she got $16,000 from the GoFundMe. That means nothing. Now, I do want to talk about Corey Richards at some point. I have it posted on my board because her defense attorney, who's a shark, wants to quit. And I know the lowdown now of why she wants to quit. So I really want to talk about that. Sandy McCracken, you just became a member. Now you can go watch that video with the ex-roommate. And she's all fired up and she wants to come on the show. Now she wants to come back and she wants to say more things. She watched the video of me reading her response and she's ready to do it. She's ready to come on and just rage at Jennifer Soto. So we all want to rage at Jennifer Soto. I wanted to address the COD for Madeline and what I posted 5 weeks ago. I back up what I posted. I don't know it's true. It's alleged. So don't shoot the messenger. I just wanted to give you information that I had. Nothing is what it seems yet. We do not know. There's a lot of allegedness. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't make me apologize. Don't do any of that because you know what? I'm doing the best that I can here, folks, with the information that I have. And I'm not one of those channels that is conspiracy theory, okay? So hold on, this is actually not the video I wanted to play yet for you. We are going to go into the video, but this is not the video.
Two of the most shocking things.
That is the video I'm going to play in a minute when I'm done talking. Hey Jay, I'm new and I watched a few times. I love your style and reporting. I'm making changes to my memberships. Thank you for your hard, honest work. Well, thank you, Allison. I appreciate you so very much. You know what? It doesn't matter what she uses a GoFundMe for. She can do whatever she wants. They're doing GoFundMe in Richard Allen's case for the Delphi, and everything's questionable nowadays. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can do whatever you want. Jennifer Soto and Stephen Stearns were. Now, look at this. Here's another thing that verifies the roommate was correct. CM. And Jennifer Soto was overweight. This was her marriage, and this is her ex, but she was overweight. Stephen Stearns was like 350 pounds or 400-pound whale. And I'm only calling him out as a whale because he's the devil and a big old fat devil, disgusting piece of human garbage, Stephen Stearns. And now you see Jennifer Soto. They both got gastric bands, and then they started bonding over that. And then he realized he wants her daughter, Madeline Soto. Julio, I appreciate you. All right. So people are talking about the 16,000. That's not a high price for an attorney. You can pay 500,000, end up paying $1 million for a good attorney for a case that lasts a long time. So yeah, I can't wait to talk about the Corey Richards case. But right now we're talking about, I know we're talking about Jennifer Soto and locking her up. But first I do want to address the head trauma and what I think, and I want to talk about Paula from Plunder, and I want to talk about getting more documents, because right now it's all speculation until Jennifer gets arrested, folks. Let's arrest Jennifer Soto. There's a lot of things that she needs to be arrested for, and I'm so upset right now. Let's play this, and then I'm going to play another clip on why, what a judge and what an attorney says she should be arrested for, and what she can be arrested for. She can be arrested right now, everybody. She actually can. There are charges that she can be arrested just for the lies that she told. Not for giving the devil her daughter and serving it up on a silver platter. That is definitely that is like an evil thing to do, but that's not against the law. Hope 8 Fear. Thank you so much for gifting a membership. I hope one of you get that so you can go watch my video that I just dropped with the ex-roommate's response to all of this. We're all just yes, Julio, let's lock her up. Lock her up. Let's lock her up. That's what I want. Let's lock her up, and we're going to talk about that. Let's talk about the COD, what we think, and court documents that are really expensive that we're going to get a hold of. And if we don't, we're going to get all the information, because I'm making friends, folks. I'm making friends with the big community, the big dogs, okay? I come from my heart, and I come from love, and I only want the truth. And obviously these channels can see that, because they want to share with me, they want to love with me, and they want to lock Jen Soto up with me and the crime crew. Shannon Partridge, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Let tonight be the last night she sleeps free. Amen to that, Sadie's mama. And let her not be able to sleep tonight, okay? Let her be thinking about us, thinking about her, because I don't sleep at night. I don't sleep at night thinking about this, folks. This whole weekend I took off and I was supposed to hang out with my family, and I did, but I was thinking about Jen Soto and Stephen Stearns. Thank you, RU. You're awesome. You're all awesome. I hope somebody got a gifted membership. This broad should go to jail. Absolutely. All right. Let's watch Paula. Then we're going to talk about what she could be locked up for now. And then I'm just so upset. I'm just like heated right now. Michelle, Jay, you're awesome. Thank you for all you. Thank you. I wouldn't be here without you and the crime crew. So don't forget, get a membership. Go watch that video. Once you're done watching it, comment on it, because we want CM, the ex-roommate, to come back up here. She's raging right now, folks. She's on fire. She's so upset. Remember, that was Jen Soto's friend that we're going to have on the show back. That was her friend that lived there. She has the lowdown on the house. You can see it in the video I just put up. All right, everybody's in. We have 330 people here. Hit that like button.
We've learned from the recent court TV video titled Stephen Stearns Police Interview, Madeline Soto Murder, which is linked to below and dated Monday, May 20th, 2024, is the potential cause of death of the 13-year-old daughter of Jennifer Soto, along with the movements Stearns may have undertook after her death. According to Joseph Scott Morgan, a well-known medico-legal death investigator expert, Maddie may have suffered massive head trauma at the hands of the man who is currently in jail awaiting trial. It is the same rumor I've heard about Maddie allegedly suffering blunt force trauma, but this has not been confirmed yet by any official entity. These details are painting a horrid picture of what could have unfolded after Maddie walked into the fading sunset of Sunday evening, twirling blue streamers in the air at her grandma's house. Did she know it was her last sunset? Was it her last moment of earthly peace? The next morning wouldn't reveal another normal school day at Hunters Creek Middle School for the teen. Instead, there was a flurry of 911 calls and claims from Soto and Stearns that Maddie never came out of school after being dropped off nearby that morning. If Maddie did suffer a blow to the head from Stearns, this leaves so many questions to be answered. Where did this head trauma take place? and when? Did it happen the evening of Sunday, February 25th, 2024, after Maddie celebrated at her 13th birthday party after leaving her grandmother's home? Did it take place?
All right. Am I the only one saying head trauma? I think not, folks. Hello, Muka77. Lock Jen Soto up in that ugly face of hers. She's given us all sleepless nights, and I hope she's not all drugged up somewhere sleeping. Yeah, that song, Got Locked Up by Akon. Yeah, I want to play it, but I don't want to get clipped. Probably at she's not locked up anymore, folks. She's out and she's about. And we appreciate you, Shannon. I hope you get to become a member soon so you can see what we're doing. I definitely take care of myself, others, my family, and that's what this lady that's also a demon should have done. Now you're hearing it again. Blunt force trauma. Why do we keep hearing blunt force trauma? Am I just making stuff up in my head? All right. Love lady Jen was lying through her teeth saying she's seen her daughter that morning. Lock up Jennifer Soto. Hashtag. That's what I've been hashtagging. Yeah, Locked Up by Akon, baby. I got that song in my head for her, and I can't play it. But yes, Davy Jones is right. Investigations take time, and I'm going to show you if they mess this up, they're going to mess up big time, and they don't want to do that, and neither do we. So let's keep going.
Place in the Santa Maria Drive condo at Venetian Bay Villages? What object was used to cause such serious head trauma? Was Maddie able to scream, or was she caught off guard and unaware? Joseph stated that any massive head trauma would no doubt leave copious amounts of blood. I can't help but think of the irony of Stearns telling the cops that Jennifer had a blood appointment that Monday. More verbal leakage from the man who is a bad liar? It sounds like a lot of cleaning up would have to occur.
A lot of verbal leakage, folks, and I hadn't seen this video yet, but verbal leakage. I love when content creators have like minds, and I love you, Paula. If you're watching me watch you, I love you, and thank you for subscribing. Keep watching.
In the wake of such a horrific crime, one that would be difficult to hide from any other occupants of that condo at the time? Or did the crime take place elsewhere, such as in the car that Stearns reportedly used to transport Maddie's body from one place to another? Joseph said that investigators would have to rip that car apart to garner evidence of the exact locations of where the crime took place.
After they say he dumped the backpack and the laptop in the dumpster about 8:10, and the timestamps when they found the car in St. Cloud about 1 to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We still can't account for the late morning and the early afternoon on February 26th, that Monday.
Joseph Scott Morgan, again, we only have about 20 seconds for everyone here. We don't have the medical examiner's report, but what questions would that answer that we don't have tonight?
She, from what I've heard, she has sustained massive head trauma. And I think, for me at least, that car has to be torn apart.
All right, folks, this is the third time I've heard massive head trauma. So if you're on social media, Facebook, whatever the hell you're posting about Jay Scott from Guilty of Crime, putting COD 5 weeks before it even came out about head trauma and blunt force, it's right here. This is the third time you heard it on my channel. Yes, you heard it on my channel, and you're going to hear it again. This is not me spreading rumors. You heard it again. I have no idea why.
From stem to stern, they need to look in every nook, every cranny, because if that is the case, that's just what I've heard. I can't verify it at this time. There would have been a copious amount of blood. So that would have to be accounted for, and that would put her in that car possibly in a post-mortem state.
It's no wonder investigators had enough evidence to charge Stearns with capital first-degree murder. Although recent court documents revealed that Maddie was caught on surveillance video slumped over to her left-hand side in the front seat as Stearns drove near the Venetian Bay Villages condos the morning of Monday, February 26th, 2024, reporter Shannon Butler revealed to Court TV that it has not been released yet, but she has been told they do have other videos of Stearns moving Maddie from the front seat of that car into another location where they say he dumped her body. So why did Stearns move Maddie out of the front seat? I shudder to think of the possibilities, knowing the sick proclivities that have already been revealed about Stearns. This newly leaked information could account for the large time gaps in Stearns's...
Again, newly leaked information that was newly leaked to me 5 weeks ago, folks. 5 weeks ago, it got leaked. I wonder if it was blunt force trauma, everybody, and I wonder how that came out. All I have to say is JS, Jennifer Soto, is guilty of crimes. And we're going to hear that next. Hello to all the crime channel. And I do want you to know, Paula was on the channel yesterday. She had pinned something on there. Not only that, she told me that she subscribes to my channel and she watches it. So thank you, Paula from Plunder. And she okayed me to play anything on her channel, and we can go back and forth and share documents. So I'm fangirling on Plunder right now. I love her. We're very like-minded, very, very spiritual women, and very strong. So let's finish.
Timeline that he gave the cops, as we recently heard in his nearly 45-minute-long interview with police on February 27th, 2024. Stearns obviously didn't tell the truth, even when confronted with inconsistencies in his story.
Came to that conclusion. It made other video too of her dumping the backpack in her laptop, so that helped a little bit with trying to make that statement from the sheriff. But they were pretty sure with that video that Madeline was not alive when she left that apartment complex. He did, though, we know that has not been released yet, but I have been told they do have other video of him moving her from the front seat of that car into another location before they say he dumped her body.
Wow. Wow.
Even when the evidence reveals more about Stearns's action.
Listen, folks, I just want you to know, behind the scenes world of YouTube, the good channels that love people and care about the cases, they share information. So I also have ties with the docket. That's where I got my last batch. Then I emailed Paula. We're talking to people behind the scenes. The good channels want the information out, and they know they have their own thing going. They're not afraid of other channels dominating, because you guys all watch over and over and over the same case, different ways told. You guys can't get enough information. That's it. We're all tied together, all the good channels. I just hit 444. Stop, make a wish for Maddie. And let's get full justice, folks. I'm literally having my eyes closed and I'm saying a prayer, and we're having it out there. Yes, Bree, you're right. We're networking, and we're not going to stop, because these good channels, these big channels that have resources, they want to help the small ones like me that actually want justice. And thank you. I wish I knew what your energy was like. I appreciate you saying that. Let's go. I love you, Paula from Plunder. Thanks again. I hope you're watching this.
Actual timeline and movements, along with Maddie's true cause and manner of death. What we may never discover is why it happened. Will Jennifer Soto or Stephen Stearns ever fess up about what actually took place as Sunday night bled into that Monday morning that Maddie was reported missing, or will they continue to clam up? Now that we know more of what those forensic vans may have uncovered in the bowels of that sinister condo in the wake of the crime, what more will the forensic findings tell us? Either way, Maddie's story is unfolding as we inch closer to seeing Stearns in court one day, if he shows up and leaves his jail cell. In the meantime, I got a great update from the Orange County Sheriff's Office of Public Records, who had previously quoted me nearly $900 for the body cam videos and other public records associated with Jennifer and Stefan reporting Maddie missing that Monday. They told me today, I just wanted to let you know we received payment from a different requester once the records are complete.
And listen, this is exactly what Paula told me after we told each other hello. She told me the same thing. She's got the FOIA in. She's waiting for the documents to come. Sherry Pialta just got gifted. Jojo Show just gifted. That's awesome. Sherry Pialta actually just gifted. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. Thank you, Sherry, for gifting 5 memberships. Everybody's so generous over here. You guys, when you're done with this, after you're done watching court TV or whatever you're doing, go over and watch that. Watch the roommate clap back at how angry she is that her friend, Jennifer Soto, who she lived with, did this to Maddie. And there's a lot of theories out there, if you're watching Police on the Cuff, that Jen did it with Stephen Stearns. So Police on the Cuff is nonstop on this. I can't even do anything to keep up with that man. He's probably 20 years older than me or 15 years older, and he's on it. Watch him too.
Provided to the original requester, we will release the records after that. I just didn't want you to make payment and have to be provided a refund. I do not have a time frame of when the records will be completed. Thank you. So even though we don't know when those videos will make their way into my inbox, at least we know they are on the way. So before long, we should see more of what Jennifer and Stefan told the cops during those crucial first hours after reporting Maddie missing. What's most important is that investigators didn't believe the tale being spun and did their due diligence to make an arrest and work towards getting Maddie justice. Stay tuned. I was surprised to see that Stearns identified himself as a Christian on his jail forms after all that ranting on Reddit about religion. Yeah, life isn't about religion or legalism or some man-made rules. It's about a relationship with Jesus, something Stearns might want to desperately seek out right now. Habakkuk 1:11. Then they will sweep by like the wind and pass on, but they will be held guilty, they and all men whose own power and strength is their God.
Amen to Paula. Yes, yes, yes. So much yes. All right, folks. So this is still not what I wanted to get to yet, only because I want to show you why she should be held accountable before we go off into the Vinny land that everybody so much wants to see. And I want to see too with you because everybody's emailing me about it. And I do know I watch everything y'all are watching as well. Let's see, just pure non-emotion. I want non-emotion here. I want just logic on why Jennifer Soto should be arrested. Okay, I want you to hear from the judge and from an attorney why she should and why she can be arrested. Okay, so let's listen to this and then we'll get into more just beating up Jen Soto and talking about other things and just putting the vibes out there to get her arrested, okay? This is actually legally why Jen Soto should already be arrested, other than I think they're getting her to talk as much as they can, say as many statements as she can before they arrest her. Now, I want you to know something as well. The more she talks, the more information they have for her. Now, listen, does this make any sense to anybody? We do reason and logic. Does this make any sense to you that the statement that we heard from her was, my daughter, when I have anxiety, I send my daughter out of the room and I send my daughter and Stefan Stearns out of the room and they sleep together. What was that a response to, folks? What did they ask her that she said that? It's not just negligence. Use your logic and reason. What did she say that to? Was this before they showed her the pictures of the pink spot on Stefan Stearns' little tiny winky when they showed it, these graphic photos, or was it before? Did they get a chance to talk to her and she said, oh yeah, sometimes I send her in the room when I have anxiety? And what was that a response to? And no way does she not recognize her daughter's face and a-hole's junk. She has serious issues. She can't get past the report of her being bi. She's absolutely she's bi, folks. She's absolutely 110% bisexual, all out. I showed you her. Her roommate is a big old flaming gay, right along with me and the family that we have. And Jen Soto is also identified as bisexual. Okay. So yes, she is. So it makes me wonder even more what that lady was doing. Nothing against gay people, obviously. That's not anxiety. She should be arrested. Well, thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. No mother should allow their child to sleep with a grown man, wear those nights of anxiety, handed her daughter. But why did she even say that? What led her to say that? She may be other things besides bisexual. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking there. We're just thinking here. We're thinking and we're talking it out on the replay crew. Missing chat, y'all. The situations make my stomach turn. It makes my stomach turn too. And it makes me not be able to sleep at night, folks. Unlike Jen Soto, I don't get to just take all these drugs and pass out. Greetings, Pam. All right. Let's go. Let's see why she should really be arrested.
Close to school. She wanted to walk the rest of the way. She was spotted walking by the church, by the middle school, on the cameras. They saw her hang out.
Well, listen, the Maddie being afraid to sleep alone was, I don't think that was a cover up. I think she was afraid to sleep alone because she was being tormented, and she didn't mean she wanted to sleep with Stephen Stearns. But what was a cover up was them saying that she had, that she was autistic. Okay. That autism was a cover up, and it makes me so angry. And I'll tell you why later. It just makes me very angry that they said that about her. Once you have that stigmatism of someone says you have autism, it sticks with you.
In the parking lot for a little bit and then get up and leave. They didn't see a vehicle or anything else. They just saw her walk away around 9 a.m. heading towards the school, but she never made it.
None of that is true, by the way. None of it.
That's
Madeline's mom, Jen Soto, speaking to WFTV down in Orlando. None of that is true. Like, it's all false. Now, was it based upon what Stephen Stearns was telling her? Did they together come up with the story? I don't know. Well, this story is completely devoid of any truth. Now, that's what she told the media. Let's get into what she is telling investigators, because I think that's a little bit more important, right?
Yes, it is.
No attack of we in the media, but what you tell investigators carries a little more weight. So
it carries a lot more weight, and that's what I'm saying, folks. It carries a whole bunch of weight. Not what she said in the interviews, not what she said to the media. What she said in the interviews to the police is what counts and why she should be locked up. And we're going to hear that right now. She's nasty. Lynn Bernard says, question, we're going to call CM, the ex-roommate, said Maddie would sleep with her grandfather. Yes, she also slept with her grandfather. If so, then that was okay in her eyes. It wasn't her decision. If you watch the video, Lynn, you should go back and watch the video. The CM said it made her uncomfortable for Maddie to sleep not only with the grandpa, but Jennifer Soto, Stephen Stearns, and Maddie, all three slept in one room, even though that place had 4 rooms. CM, which is ex-roommate, said she always kept her door open to look out for Maddie because she felt something was off. She wanted to keep an eye on her. So no, it wasn't. Let's not bash the roommate ever. She is like one of the best people I know. We're friends now. We talk regularly. I love her. It's a love fest. We're never going to say anything. She didn't feel it was right for anybody. Thank you, D, for the super sticker. All right, let's hear what law enforcement should be charging Jennifer Soto for.
Jen Soto completed a sworn written statement to the Orange County deputies to the following. Jen Soto stated on 2/26/24 at approximately 0800 hours, she saw Madeline getting ready for school. 8 o'clock in the morning, she saw her daughter getting ready for school. 8 a.m. approximately, okay? Now, let's go through some of the other pieces of the timeline that investigators have in this case. Stearns is spotted at 8:10. A license plate reader captured Stephen's vehicle with Florida tag, driving away from the school at 8:10. This school is like 20 minutes away. It's about 20 minutes away or so. And he's driving away from the school back towards Kissimmee where they live at 8:10. Again, she said she saw Madeline getting ready for school at 8. What else do?
And that couldn't have happened because we know, and we're going to find out the timeline even more. Christine Pitlover 66, I love that you said you knew it was a lie when they said about her having autism. Shame on those dirtbags. I just did a whole video about why we believe she doesn't have autism. Not only that, when you have autism, there's a lot of things that you have to do functionality-wise for them. None of that was happening. And CM, the ex-roommate, tells us why she doesn't have autism. It's a big freaking lie, and it pisses me off because it gives a kid a stigma that's not good for them.
Do we know? The sheriff, the Orange County sheriff, spoke about a couple other pieces of the timeline. Take a listen.
We have video evidence that shows Stephen Stearns discarding items in a dumpster in that apartment complex in Kissimmee at 7:35 on Monday, February 26th. Detectives later recovered Madeline's backpack and her school-issued laptop from that dumpster. At 8:19, we have evidence that shows Stephen Stearns returning to the complex, and Madeline was visible in that vehicle. We believe she was already dead at that time.
Okay, and that jives with the 8:10, right? 8:10, you're driving back towards Kissimmee. 8:19, you get back to the complex, and Madeline Soto's in the car. So she had to be in the car when they left. So let's go back again. She's saying 8 o'clock in the morning, she saw her getting ready for school. 7:35, he was already tossing out her laptop and backpack at the dumpster, which is near the back exit of the complex, by the way. Okay, let me bring in my guests, special guest joining us in Orlando, Florida, America's judge, retired judge of the 9th Judicial Circuit, the Honorable Belvin Perry, and also joining us, the state attorney for Palm Beach County.
Now, these are the real deal folks that are going to tell us what she is going to be charged with, folks. These are the real deal, and I hope that the attorney talks about this tomorrow. Jennifer's defense attorney, Leo, I have to say hello because I am 199% a Leo. That's my horoscope sign, and I see your horoscope and I see you. I love you. I love Leos, and hello to you and chat. And I'm glad that you're a member also. So, all right, let's listen. Now I'm not going to stop. We're going to hear
Dave Arenberg, who, Judge, he's a Harvard guy, okay? Harvard smarty. So we got a lot of brains here tonight between these two. Unbelievable. All right, I'll begin with you, Judge. Judge has to go first, Dave, sorry. That statement that she provided, seeing her getting ready for school at approximately 8 o'clock, is that a problem for her in terms of potential charges or liability? If not, what else do investigators need to try to demonstrate that she is perhaps involved in a cover-up, perhaps involved in disposing of her daughter's body?
Vinny, unfortunately for her, as a friend of mine would say, the math is not mathing with that timeline. She's in deep trouble. She has verifiable lies that does not jive with the timeline. As they uncover more, she could be facing a multitude of charges in this particular case.
Let me ask you, Dave Arenberg, what do you see as potential avenues for prosecuting Jen Soto? What would you need? What sort of evidence? And nothing related to the sex crimes. I want to deal with those separately. So just with the murder, the cover-up, the disposing of the remains.
Well, good to be with you, Vinny, and with the judge. I think the judge is right about the lying. You could possibly charge her with lying to law enforcement. But the real crime that I think she could be charged with, based on what we know now, is potential child neglect charges. Now, child abuse under Florida law, under Section 827.03, includes child neglect.
Now, legal jargon. I love legal jargon because it means it's a real thing, folks, okay? It's a real thing. And legal jargon means that this is what she will be charged with at some point. The timeline's not mathing. You're absolutely right, Tanya. Son's Leo. I didn't want to get off topic, but I'm July 25th, and I saw the other Leo as August 3rd. Just wanted to let you guys know I'm watching. Timeline's not mathing, and legal jargon is the best because it means that they're real charges. It's not just us being mama bears and being angry that she's letting her daughter sleep with grandpa, or Stephen Stearns. Any man wakes up and has to go pee in the morning, and we know what that equals, don't we, folks? All right.
Neglect, and neglect can be a second-degree felony punishable about the 15 years in prison if a caregiver fails to provide a child with the necessary care, supervision, or services to maintain that child's physical and mental health. And if that neglect causes great bodily harm, which clearly occurred here, then it does rise to a secondary felony. That's the crime that she could be charged with, depending on the facts. Now, she may say that she has no intent to commit such a crime. But remember, we're not talking about intentional child abuse. We're talking about child neglect. And by its own terms, neglect doesn't mean intent. It just means that you're neglectful. And I think when you encourage your daughter to go sleep in a bed with your boyfriend in another room when you're not even there, then I think that meets the standards for child neglect.
All right, let's get to that. Let's take a look at that, because this, again, is part of the statement that was made by Jen Soto. She stated while they were together, they would either all sleep in the same bed, or Madeline would sleep with her when Stephen wasn't there. When asked if it was normal that Stephen and Madeline sleep together without her being there, she said yes. Jen Soto stated if she needed a good night's sleep due to her anxiety, she would ask them to sleep in a different bedroom.
How selfish is that, everybody? Do you really think that she was dumb enough not to know? I'll tell you right now that she wasn't dumb enough not to know. Jen's ex, we'll call Jen's ex-friend now. She was a friend. Jen lended a hand to help her out, to let her live there, etc., etc. Her name is CM. Now, somebody said autism's on a spectrum. We know all that. If you watch the video, you'll know what we're talking about. I know there's a spectrum of autism, and it can be the lowest thing. I'm going to tell you a real quick personal story. My son has ADHD, and so does my daughter. And when my son was younger, they wanted to give him testing for autism because he would play video games a lot and just focus. And I didn't want that stigma, because they could have just been one little thing that the scale tipped and said, oh, your son's autistic, and it would have gave him this stigma of him being autistic. And I didn't want that stigma, because I knew whatever they were going to say, he didn't need anything more or anything less. I didn't even give him the ADHD pills. We dealt with it in a holistic way, fish oil pills, etc. My son's now a beautiful 20, almost 5-year-old man, and nothing gets in his way. But autism would have gotten in his way had we diagnosed him with that.
So, Judge, what would be necessary? How could you prove that she had any idea what was happening to her daughter? Would you need that to connect her to any of the, to connect Jen Soto to any of the sex crimes? I think that's the biggest question people have. Can she be connected to what Stefan Stearns was doing? Or do you need something more here than just allowing it to happen or sending them into the other room?
The problem that the state is going to have is connecting her with the sex crimes. Currently now, based upon what has been given to the public, and that's out in the public domain, we can't say what actually occurred besides her sleeping in the same bed. Logically, one could conclude that, but that's not enough proof at this time. I suspect that's the reason why this case is still being investigated, and that they're taking a very close look at the mother. That's just not normal for that young lady to sleep with this guy, particularly when you look at the breaks between the dates of the sexual assaults. You have a break, then you have the assaults renewed. There's a lot going on that we don't know, and she holds the answers to those questions.
She does, and then the question is she no longer speaking? Where is she? What is she saying at this point? Okay, so the bottom line here, what I'm hearing from both of you is that false statements to police potentially, child neglect potentially. When we come back, let's talk about proving the case for the sexual abuse against.
All right, we don't need to talk about that, because we don't need to prove a case against him. We already have a case against him. We need to prove the case against Jennifer Soto. And you just heard what those gentlemen said, and I know they know what they're talking about. So there are the first set of charges, and they have the statement from her. All right, there's no mechanism, there's no description of a functioning mechanism, just a list of symptoms. Thank you, Davy Jones. And people put them in categories. You get the highly functioning, or people will say, oh, they're highly functioning, and then you look at them and you talk to them and whatever, and it's like, what? Did you do that because you're getting a check, or did you do that because they really need help? Now, there's people with good motives and there's people with bad motives, and I'm not one of those people with bad motives. So whatever anybody's saying, I don't know what they're saying. I can't keep up. All the evidence on Stefan Stearns' phone and cameras, yes, it is. All right, now everybody's emailing me about this. Now, I know Vinny did a show today. I'm not going to play that. I hope you watched that already by yourselves. I want to talk about, actually, this is not the one I want to talk about. Let's stop this one real quick. Let me go on to the one that I want to talk about with you, because everybody and their mom, literally, which is funny, because the reason that the roommate was introduced to me was because of her mom watching my show. All right. She watched the crime news with the crime crew, and that's how she was introduced. So, high functioning autistic teen. I'm not sure where the chat is, but whatever that means, as long as you have a good motive and you're not here trolling, I'm fine with what you're saying. I just do not believe Madeline Soto and was autistic on any level, nor should she have been diagnosed. I think they did it for parental alienation, for a check, and for many other reasons, to take the drugs from her.
Jen Soto.
All right. Everybody gets fired up with Vinnie Paulson. So let's talk about what he's saying. Let's talk about what we're saying. Let's talk with the chat. There was a 4-bedroom house with 3 bathrooms, and all 3 of them slept in one room, baby blue. Isn't that disgusting? And then when they weren't all sleeping in one room, Jen would send Maddie to sleep with the devil. She handed her off. I wouldn't know if she is or she isn't because I don't know her. But guess what? CM did know her, and nobody knows her anymore because she's not alive. But what I do know is that CM lived with them for a year, and she knows that Maddie wasn't autistic. They didn't do anything for her autism other than go get her diagnosed so that they could say she was autistic and get a check for her, folks. I go watch my video when you're done. Let's talk about this for a little bit and get fired up. I'm not going to sit there and watch the 2 hours, but I do want to keep Madeline Soto, Justice, Jennifer Soto, get arrested and keep track of that and wait for the next big information to hit.
Fed that child to a monster.
Absolutely.
Jen Soto fed that child to a monster.
Yep.
That has become clear. This video, I'm going to approach this from 2 different perspectives. 1, as a parent. 2, as a prosecutor.
And that's why we're watching this together. Everybody wanted to watch this. Everyone that watched it wanted me to watch it. So I'm showing you I'm watching it. We're not going to watch the whole thing. But he's coming from the perspective of a dad. He's a papa bear. We're a lot of mama bears here. There's papa bears, mama bears. And he was a prosecutor. So he knows that Jen could be charged at any moment. And he's waiting for it to drop too. But he just wants to keep it out in the spotlight. As a mama of 2 girls, you will know if something's wrong with your baby. She turned a blind eye. She knew. A mom always knows. She's disgusting and has to be thrown in jail for negligent parenting. Right. And we just heard that from the judge and the other detective and the other, I don't know if he was a prosecutor, he was a lawyer. But yes, we're going to watch some of this and get fired up. And we're going to hashtag arrest Jen Soto.
Okay? That's what we're going to do here. Approach this from 2 different perspectives. Parenting and prosecuting. I've done both. Now, I know you've read some of the headlines. You may even have read the reports. Let's talk about this as a parent first. I know a lot of you are parents.
And we're talking about it together as parents as well. I want you to have hashtag arrest Jen Soto. It's not coming up right now for some reason, but it will. If you guys, there's 571 people in chat. If every one of you hashtags arrest Jen Soto, we've got justice for Maddie. Keep that one going. It will happen, okay? It happens in numbers. Now, eat the cupcake. I don't want you to be concerned about it taking so long. It's taking long because they're doing it right. And it's really not that long. You know, it took a while. It took a while to get Stephen Stearns charged for the unaliving of Maddie. And we automatically knew that he did that like the day after they knew. So it's not taking that long. They're just doing a good job. Thank you all. I'm going to put your hashtags up as he talks this through with us.
Some of you are grandparents. There is one paragraph in this case report which clearly demonstrates for you what was going on. Clear path of what is going on. Again, two ways. I mean, as a parent, as a prosecutor, let's start as a parent, then we'll get to what a prosecutor can do with this information, what a prosecutor should do with this information, and what may very well happen in all of this. I'll start with the paragraph in question.
Thank you, Benny.
For those of you that have read it already, every time you read it, I think you pick a little something else out of it. The first time you read it, it's just the jaw-dropping shock.
Did you just tune in, Christine Micro? Because we just saw the judge and the we just saw two people, judge and an attorney, talk about the charges that we want Jen arrested on immediately, and that's child neglect is the first one. Maybe you missed the whole part of this. So child neglect is the least amount that she should be charged for immediately. And then we're going to get into all the other stuff, which we just got into, and we're going to get into again. So hopefully you stay here and you listen, because I think you missed something. We actually did just get into the laws just a second ago. All right. So you might want to rewind that and rewatch this. Thank you, JoJo, for the gifted membership. Y'all are lucky today. People are gifting memberships like crazy. Now you can go watch the video after.
So they're getting ready to write the arrest warrant. And the arrest warrant was being written by Detective Moore at 4:45 on the 27th. This detective, this investigator, Morris, contacted Jen Soto in a conference room at the sheriff's office. Jen Soto was asked about Madeline being missing and the dynamics of the household. This is what we've been waiting to find out. Like, what were the dynamics? Because when this story first broke, it was very confusing. It's very clear now. It's maddening, but it's clear. Jen Soto stated her and Stefan have been dating on and off for approximately 7 years. Okay. So the monster's been in her life for 7 years.
Now we're talking this out, and this is really good to talk out. Davey, we should start referring to herself as the Pride. Explain to me why, Davey. I don't know you that well. Now you're making me wonder. Right, listen to the timeline. The person that came on here wants to be explained the law, go back. But we're going to hear the law when he puts on his law hat as a prosecutor and tells you what Jen should be prosecuted for. So please stay here.
The monster's been in Jen Soto's life for 7 years.
Thank you, Lynn. I do too.
On and off. So why was it on and off? What was it about the relationship that made it on and off? And how was Madeline impacted by this? You see, it's one thing to have an on and off relationship with someone. It's another to have an on and off relationship with a man when you have custody of a young daughter or a young son. It's impacted both ways. So why is he?
Really quickly, I want you guys to know the more you interact, you'll get a membership. Nikita G just gifted 5 more memberships. JoJo gifted a bunch of memberships. Other people gifted memberships. Sin B did a super sticker. There's so many gifted memberships in here tonight, and we're working this out together, folks. So please interact, because when you do, you get a gifted membership. We're working this out together until the next set of paperwork drops, and it's coming, I promise. Vinnie Politan knows I exist. I've been in contact. I haven't heard back from him, but we know somebody that works at Court TV, and we know that they're going over to Kissimmee to get the files and the paperwork in person. So I'm just telling you, something big's about to drop.
In and out of her life. What is it that's going on? I know it's not him working. That I know. Why? Why was this an on again, off again relationship? Did she know? Did she sense? Did Madeline say anything? Why was it that he would be gone and then he would come back? He'd be gone and then he'd come back. And what did that do to Madeline? Having a man like that in and out of her life. It's very confusing. Very confusing for a child. That fact alone, somewhat irresponsible, I would argue. Like if there's a reason for him to not be in your life, that instinct was probably correct. You cut it off. It's done. You can't have him in and out, in and out, in and out. On and off for 7 years. That creates less stability in a home with a young girl who needs a little stability. But my guess is there was something about his character, something about what he did, how he treated her, what he said, that turned it into this on again, off again. And then he would say whatever he needed to say to get on again so he could prey again upon Madeline.
Notice he didn't want to say so he could get off again. There's a lot of things that we can say that are wrong, and he said a lot of wrong things in his interview with the police. Vinny was very careful about how he said on again and get off again. These things are not good, and sometimes verbal leakage is no good. Yeah, gifting memberships is fun. Jen Soto's guilty at the least negligence, and you're right. I wish I could bring back the lady that said what she wants her to be charged for. Now, there was 620 people in chat. There's 600 people. Hit that like button so you can see my stuff coming. I'm dropping documents as fast as I can get them, folks. Jen is toast. You're absolutely right. But the chat is flying. Failing to protect her. Yep, absolutely.
Okay. Stefan had moved out of the home in the latter part of 2023, November and December. Okay. So he had moved out.
Vinny.
So he was living in the house, then not living in the house. Living in the house, not living in the house. You can't do that. You can't do that. You cannot do that. All right. If he's in your life, there's a reason he moves in. Okay. But then there's a reason for him to be gone. And then he comes back. And then he's gone. And then he comes back. What is that? What is that? You don't do that. If you're single, you do it. You're single, but you have a child that you need to take care of. A child that needs.
All right. And not only that, why would she let him keep going in and coming back and then handing Maddie? So everybody that says anything else other than her being hashtag Jen Soto arrested. Yes. Justice for Maddie Soto. Arrest Jen Soto. Vinny's working out. I want him to put his prosecutor hat on. I love him. I have him at 1.25 speed, and he's working it out in his head right now. But he's doing a great job. Of course, he's the man, always.
Some stability in her very challenging life. You just don't do that. Okay. So November, December 2023, he's out. Jen Soto stated while they were together, they would either, here we go, all sleep in the same bed, or Madeline would sleep with her when Stefan was not there. When asked if it was normal that Stefan and Madeline to sleep together without her being there, and she said, yes. Can you believe that?
All right. Vinny's working it out, and so are we. And I wanted to tell you something. Barbara, I noticed most of the images are when school's out for summer. Well, guess what? CM texted me after this video dropped. CM is the ex-roommate / ex-friend of Jennifer Soto. And you know what she said to me? She forgot something. She said, here's something I just thought about. If she had autism so bad, like they say, why then would she leave her at home alone until the monster got there? That's a good point, because he did not pick her up from the party either. That's another point. Not only those were the only times, but Jen left Maddie home a lot in between, and then Stephen Stearns was the babysitter that we don't know about. So yeah, she did leave Maddie home alone. I forgot about that, and CM forgot about that. So when people are asking who was watching Maddie, nobody was watching Maddie. Maddie was left home alone. So for her to not know how to call home or get home or make it home or run away or all the autistic things that they're saying, she left her daughter home alone until that man got there to do what he wanted with her. So that's how highly autistic she was, that she was left alone. Okay.
Again, we're still in the parenting mode right now. I'll put on my prosecutor's hat in a second.
Yeah, put it on. We're going to put it on with you. That's one here.
I think we're all going to be 6.
Yeah, we are. Put your hat on. Vinny.
Option. How does that become an option? And you wonder why. Actually, we don't wonder why. We know why. She said, when I'm 13, I'm going to go live in the woods. Because if you live in the woods, you don't have to sleep with mom's boyfriend.
Absolutely.
I'm not, this does not compute. It doesn't compute on any level. On any level of common sense parenting.
That's a good idea, Crime to remember. All right, let's put your prosecutor's hat on. Yeah, we don't care about her having a low IQ.
Combination of the two.
We're not going to let that. We're not going to let her IQ.
Stephens.
We want his prosecutor hat on.
I mean, is it?
Well, actually, I wonder where this came out from. Let's go back to this really quickly. She did talk about that. Yeah, how's the lady free? Let's find out what Vinny says. How the lady's free.
There are a lot of comments.
There are a lot of comments. They are 600 people in here, folks, and I'm trying to get them all. But I want to hear what
his mom
says
also
about
essaying Madeline. All 3 sleeping in the same bed. Why feel anxious? Because you're on again, off again, boyfriend, and you are essaying your daughter. I mean, is it beyond the realm to wonder? It does make you wonder. Now, she volunteered all that information. So does that get back to what Alexandra said about the low IQ, like thinking there's nothing wrong with that? Like, oh yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just telling you the way we do this and the dynamics in this house. I guess she thought it wasn't a problem. How is that?
I don't think that she thought it wasn't a problem, everybody. I'm going to tell you right now that I know that she didn't know it was a problem, but she got ahead of herself on purpose because she already knew that they found the photos or they wouldn't be interrogating her and they wouldn't have that piece of paper talking about Stephen Stern's pink winky. So she said, so she doesn't get in trouble. She says, hey, yeah, I have anxiety, so I let her sleep with her stepfather. She called him a stepfather. They even called her his wife. They thought that they were married and that was her stepfather, folks. Why did they think that? I don't care. It's not her IQ. She was getting ahead of herself, and she did that on purpose so that she can say, oh, I have anxiety. I was drugged up at night and I let Maddie. She knew what she was saying. She wasn't a low IQ. No.
How's that?
It's not.
Sometime.
All right, there we go. Y'all got to tell me if you see Melly all the time on Vinny Paulton's show. She's got the big, look at her picture there. It's so funny. Every time Vinny sees her, it's like he puts a smile on his face. I'm sorry, but I had to call that out just to make you guys laugh a little bit. All right, every time Melly comes up, and she always comes up. Yes, I wish Maddie had been with her dad. I just thought it'd make you smile. She doesn't have a low IQ, folks. She's very smart and very manipulative. There's no excuse. Jen is smarter than she looks. Yeah, she looks scared. She doesn't look stupid to me. All right, let's listen to what Prosecutor Vinny says.
Sandra Cruz. Jen should get a part in a movie. She's a great actress, acting as if she did not know anything. Mothers like her should go to beep. Yeah, she's losing credibility as a parent. So let's look at this from a prosecutorial perspective. Let's start with the case involving the photos.
Thank you, Vinny.
Okay. So what did she do? Did she take the photos? I don't know. She didn't take the photos. I think they were selfies. Now, if there's any evidence that looks like a third person is taking the photos, and these are pictures we won't see. Some of them are described here. I can read those descriptions for you.
And we don't want to see them.
Well, I can't read the whole description for you, but I can give you the idea of what it is. Like, Video file depicting a prepubescent female resembling Maddie, who would have been 8 years and 4 months old. Maddie is laying next to Stefan in the bed watching cartoons on the television. Stefan is asking Maddie to put his there in Maddie for 3 seconds as he counts. Stefan states Maddie would not be able to play with a phone unless she did it. Now we see how these people operate. Like it's on video. It's on video. And he kept them. What did he do with them? Is he selling them on one of these creepy platforms where you can't track people down? Potentially.
Well, maybe she couldn't hold the job because she was doing so many drugs and drugging herself up and just being a lazy slob with Stephen Stearns. We do know that Stephen Stearns was just a lazy slob that brought nothing to the table at all. What's up, Amy T? I hope you get a membership today. I seen that too. I'm glad you did. I know what you're talking about. The girl Melly that's always on there with the big. All right. Anyway, I've been trying to gift. I wish you knew how. Somebody tell her how to gift. Even people with below average IQ would know that it's wrong to have people have them sleep together. People need to stop making excuses. Yeah, no excuses for Jen over here. None. I'm trying to do the opposite. Hashtag arrest Jen Soto.
So, okay. I don't think there's going to be evidence that she's taking the photos. So now you have to get into the mindset. Is she telling him to do it? Is she allowing him to do it? Is she turning a blind eye? Is she negligently allowing her daughter to sleep with her boyfriend? Does she? I think you start getting into,
and we'll start getting into it for a second. He's right. They have to figure out the dynamics. Overprotected 1111. Y'all make a wish, say a prayer for Maddie. We just saw an angel number. Does anyone else feel Stephen Stearns put the Woods text, throw the police off because he knew they'd search for her phone and then explain in there? It's a good possibility. What about when he said beat the bushes? They were all beating the bushes looking for her. There's a lot of things that he was trying to do to either throw them off or accidentally say something. That's a good possibility. And I thank you for all the possibilities. Someone emailed me their theory. I haven't got to respond yet, but I appreciate everybody. I'll drop my email below. Email me, folks.
potential charges related to the images on his phone if she knew it was happening and allowed it to continue. But you would have to prove and have some evidence that she knew. So without evidence that she knew this was going on, how are you going to prove?
Yep.
How are you going to prove her role in this?
This is the prosecutor version of Vinny.
Because if you
folks.
attempted to charge her, but you didn't have evidence that she actually knew, and you just said circumstantially, well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it's obvious that she knew. It's obvious that if she slept in a bed with her boyfriend, what would happen? Is it beyond a reasonable doubt? That's not beyond a reasonable doubt. I don't even think you might not even get the indictment.
Now, he's being prosecutor hat. Remember, the jury only hears certain things. So if they put a jury out there and they can't get all the evidence in, then she's walking free, and we have a double jeopardy situation where they cannot charge her again. So they have to be smart. Yeah, Vinny looks like he's on the beach. I guess that's his prosecutor hat, folks. But he's in prosecutor mode.
You probably wouldn't get the indictment. You need a smoking gun of either a text message, some digital message on her phone,
right?
Something she says in an interview, or
somebody not.
Or, you ready for it? Something Stefan says.
Thank you, Jen.
Think about this for a second. Think about this for a second. I host a show. It was on tonight at 8 o'clock. One of the reasons we're going on late. Called Accomplice to Murder. You've got the main actor here.
She did send them
But are you
to
going to
bed
cut a
together.
deal with the main actor to go after an accomplice because of her relationship to the victim? Would you do that? I mean, usually it's the other way around, right? You cut the deal with the accomplice to get the main actor. Like, I don't see a scenario where she's the main actor. I think worst case scenario for her is she knows this is going on. No, the worst case scenario is she's participating in this.
Yes.
And we're talking about the
Yes.
stuff related to the images on the phone right now. We haven't gotten into the big charge, right?
Yeah. All right. For everybody that was wondering why we should arrest Jennifer Soto besides our feelings about it, this is why. Right now, here and there, we're working it through why she should be arrested and what logical reasons they can arrest her. As a prosecutor, Vinny knows what the biggest charge is, what the smallest charge is, and we're working out what we can do. But we need to get Davey a computer, folks. All right. He's our mod.
So you can't argue to a jury or get an indictment just saying, well, it's obvious, ladies and gentlemen. Well, it's you need the evidence and you need the proof. At trial, you need the proof beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yep.
Like if you just go in there and say, well, it's obvious she knew or should have known. Is that the theory? I'm trying to figure out what the charge would be for someone that should have known.
Absolutely.
Under child, it could be under like it wouldn't be a co-conspirator. Like that's the real question here, right? Is she participating?
That is the question. Is she a co-conspirator? Did it happen and then Stephen Stearns go drop off the body in the bushes while Jen was at home cleaning up, folks? You heard what Stephen Stearns said. The devil said that she may have had a blood appointment today. Do you remember that? Do you remember him saying verbal leakage that Jen may have had a blood appointment? Thank you, JoJo. Again, arrest Soto. I hope you guys get gifted membership. Sorry, you got good night. Good night, Nikita. I'll talk to you very soon. Was she an accomplice? Was she there cleaning up the blood appointment that she had at the house?
In these images by either knowingly allowing it or actually participating in it. Now, the participation, you would think they went through all these images, they didn't see her.
Right.
Or any of the image of the type where it looks like someone is holding it. If it's a still photo, that would be difficult to prove because you have tripods. You can lean a phone. You can put a timer on it. The only way I think that you could prove someone else is holding the phone for the images is if it's a video and the phone itself, the camera, is moving. Then you've got a third person involved.
We all are.
Cake tonight, or Cakey. Love your prosecutor hat. Thank you. I put on the prosecutor's hat.
So here's the thing. That's a good question, Cynthia Sweezy. You say, can they verify with the doctor if she was at the appointment? That's what they're doing right now. FYI, the reason Jennifer Soto is not arrested is because they're verifying everything. There's over a terabyte of information. They have to look at everything. Maybe they'll find a picture. Do you remember the Jodi Arias case where they found the picture of her dragging the body and they saw a picture of her foot in the photo of the body that was not alive? Thank you, Sherry, for the 5 gifted memberships. Do you remember that picture of Jodi Arias? That's essentially what got her convicted, was that picture of her dragging the body. If they could find one picture of Jen involved in a picture, in the background, anything, they have something to give to the jury. Thank you, Nets World, for remembering that. They have to look through all this stuff to make sure they charge her correctly. They have to leave, but thanks, you rock. Good night. That would be a good charge. Absolutely. A reflection, yes.
Okay. So I think Lundy is with us. Just tuned in. Love your work, Vinny. Thank you, Lundy.
Thank you, Teresa. Or Teresa.
Tiffany. W hating he was sending the pics to mom.
Maybe.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're talking about what could she be. Obviously, she's guilty of child neglect. That's the least amount of charge. That could carry up to 15 years, folks. We heard that earlier. They said for the child neglect at the fullest, it could be 15 years. Again, another 5 gifted memberships, guys. The more active you are, the more chance you have to get a gifted membership, and you can go watch the video. Please hit that like button. We have 585 people in chat, and we don't have 500 likes. Thank you for hitting that like button and work it out with us. What do you think that she did? Everything's an allegedly, maybe, as they dig through the information, and we wait. But do we want Jen hiding? No, we don't. Yeah, we want to throw the book at Jen, but we want to be careful. We're logical people here in this channel, in the chat.
Tiffany, I think in order to get her for the images, you're not going to cut a deal with Stearns. He gets no deal. He's not getting a deal. Not
Nope,
getting any deal.
off the
It's an
table.
open shut case on him.
Absolutely.
The only way it would have to be in the images. It would have to be in some communication between the two, or a statement that's made. But Stearns isn't even. He's not going to admit to it. He lawyered up.
Yep. Will he roll on her?
I
But
think
they're still not going to give him. No deal. No deal for Stearns.
when it comes to the disappearance, he might have a better chance of tying in the mother. Kimberly tonight. Kimberly Clays. Thank you, Kimberly.
And as he says thank you, I want to say thank you, Jenny Lang. You're absolutely right. There's so many cases. John Benet Ramsey, I love that you know your cases. I know my cases. I've been studying and watching true crime for the last 40 years. I know I don't look old enough, but trust me, I am. I could get my mom back on the channel. My mom pops in time to time. She's almost 70 years old, and I've been watching true crime with her since I was 4 or 5. Hey, I let my daughter watch it. She doesn't like it. I did like it. John Benet Ramsey had massive head trauma with no blood. That happens a lot. Thank you for saying that. It could actually absolutely be that. And there could have been a little bit of blood. And Jen was at home doing her blood appointment, like Stephen Stern said, which means she was cleaning it. I want to say hello to Misty Jet. You're new here. Hi, everybody. Thank you. Help us work this out and what you think so that we can come back and say, we thought that, we knew that. All right. Together, we'll get hashtag arrest Jennifer Soto, and it will happen. And we'll know that we worked it out together.
Thanks for watching. Thank you for supporting. Some
Thank
big
you,
support
Vinny.
tonight from Catherine Joy. Thank you, Catherine. So
20 bucks.
I at this point, I don't see anything here that is going to connect her to the charges for what was found on Stefan's phone.
Yeah, me neither.
Now.
Not yet.
All right. Let's see. Okay. Here's another image depicting Madeline, approximately 11 years, 5 months old. Stefan putting his
again
into a private area of Madeline's.
I had
And
nightmares
apparently
about
the identity, his face is not in these photos, but there's a unique mark on
See what I
his.
told you? Yep.
And they said there's hundreds of other images. Hundreds of other images. Another report, they said there were 1,700.
And remember, folks, 1,700 images, and I'm sure that's around the number. Remember in his audio that we played yesterday when he said that Maddie had been doing something on a phone and she was doing some kind of thing with a selfie and showing her parts on there, but they didn't reprimand her. He told them that. They didn't ask him. He told them that because he knew there might be pictures on his phone that didn't get erased. And he knew a lot of them were selfies. And he didn't think that they were going to look at his Winky that had a pink Winky on it and connect the two, because it may have been it may have not shown up because he deleted a lot of the pictures. So they didn't ask him. He told them that, oh, she's sick and she was playing with the camera and she did some selfies of her private areas and we didn't reprimand her. He told them that.
Oh, here's more images. Okay. A lot of this when she's 11 years, 5 months old. And it appears while Maddie is sleeping.
There you go, folks. They drugged her, probably.
So I guess everyone's question is going to be, okay, well, he's sleeping with her because mom said to go sleep with her.
Yep.
That doesn't
get out of the room
all the way there. It doesn't, unless she knows that he has done this before. If she knows that he has done this, if they can prove that she knew, she had prior knowledge and then said, go in the other room, then you've got something.
Exactly.
But I don't see that yet. And it may never have happened. Yeah, they describe a handful of these. And she's sleeping, and I'm not going to try to be as gentle as possible in describing this stuff.
I'm trying to be gentle, but it's hard when you got that kind of case to be gentle, folks.
So,
thank you.
I want to address something here from Carly Holland, registered nurse. By the way, I'm type 1 diabetic. Blood sugar's good, folks. It's steady. I had a little bit of extra juice just before the show just to make sure I don't crash on you. Make this guy the first one to get the DP for these crimes against children. Florida's going to have a problem with that, Carly. Supreme.
Now we get to hear why, because I was wondering why this wasn't a death or a DP case. We're trying to say, why isn't it a DP case with the 60 charges and the unaliving now? Why isn't it a death penalty? And now he's going to tell us. Davy Jones says, Veritas Vox Day. Let's hear.
Of course, not going to allow it. It's not going to allow it. They're not going to allow it for anything other than the second set of charges. The first set of charges for the images on the phone will not result in the ultimate punishment. They may have the trial go that way. That may be the sentence, but that sentence will be overturned on appeal.
Why? Oh.
The Supreme Court has spoken on that. So I don't think that's ever going to happen. But don't forget about the second set of charges, which the papers I have in front of me right now do not relate to the second set of charges. They relate to the first set of charges.
And Vinny's got a bunch of new paperwork coming. Everybody's waiting for the same document, so it's all going to hit at one time. Everybody's going to have it at once. Amy T says common sense would say he did, and the meds in the house do this too. They actually talk about tranquilizers, so I'm sure they tranquilized this little girl because it also hurts, folks. Those things that he was doing to her would hurt a grown-ass woman, let alone a little girl. That makes me so angry, everybody. I just want you to know how angry I am about this. I think they're both guilty of the same exact thing, and I wish they could be. I just don't understand. Hello, sweet peaches. How are you doing? It makes me very angry that this little girl is being hurt physically and mentally and in so many ways.
Which is just the phone stuff. The first case. So there's going to be two trials. There's going to be two trials. We know that. And I don't think it's going to happen quickly either.
Not only is it not going to happen quickly, but we're still wondering, is there going to be a co-defendant? Truth Girl says maybe she didn't know until that night. She just snapped, fully or partially responsible. I don't think that she didn't know. That was happening for the last, what did they say, 7 years? Lots and lots of years it was happening. If she didn't know, she was a fool. Seminal fluids, tears, rips, stretch marks. How do you not know? I'm not coming at you sideways. I'm just coming at it sideways because I'm mad. Yeah, just 8 years old did It was happening when the ex-roommate CM moved out. It started happening right after that, okay? So there's no way she didn't know. Yes, Michelle Eaton, you said, thank you, JoJo. She knew. If she didn't know, then she's the worst mother in the whole entire world. Do I have to say it again? Seminal fluids, blood, stretch marks, all kinds of things that are terrible that would happen to your body when a grown man does that to a little girl, everybody. Thank you. Not just, and someone just said she heard. She could have heard it. I don't care. All the things you look, I see one scratch on my daughter, and I'm like, where'd you get that scratch from? What happened?
That's my prosecutor hat analysis. That it's going to take a while. It's going to take a while because the defense knows they have no defense, so they're in no rush. They know he's not getting out on bond, so they're in no rush. So the longer they wait, the more they hope that something develops. The only negotiating tool they would have would be implicating her. But why on earth I wouldn't as a prosecutor?
See, he's trying to work it out. And then when at the episode I showed you before, he brings the judge on and the lawyer to work out the actual charges. Did Jen not do the laundry? Exactly. And also, why did Stephen Stearns know about Maddie's menstrual cycle? Again, they were saying it was the stepfather. They were saying it was husband and wife. That was not even close, folks. If you know this story, you know it's not a story. If you know the real deal, you know that he was in her life for that many years, doing that many things. Yeah, why didn't the doctors notice? Like I said before, everybody failed Maddie. Now I have solutions in my head, and I have solutions from mothers emailing me, but we need to make these changes for that to happen. My doctor does that too. My doctor checks my daughter, checked my son. They check their private parts. They check their legs. They lift their shirt up. Why didn't the doctors notice? We don't know. We don't have the doctor's records, folks. My doctors would notice. I would notice. It just makes me so angry.
Prosecutor, I wouldn't give a deal to the main actor to get the accomplice
Nope.
if she's involved. And would I even trust would I trust anything that comes out of his mouth? I would need more. I would need more evidence. I would need some digital evidence. I would need something else.
Right. The jury would too. Absolutely.
Because I'm not indicting mom based upon what he says. He's backed into a corner. He's going away. He's never getting out. And by the way, just so you know, a bunch of the images that were handed over, he doesn't get to see them. The defense can come to the prosecutor's office to inspect the evidence.
Thank God he doesn't get to see them.
They're not going to make copies and give it to the defense so they can share them with the defendant.
Good. Or anybody else for that matter.
That's not happening. That is not happening. Nicole LeBlanc is back. She said she took Maddie to school. She lied. Right. Now we're getting somewhere, right? Let me see.
Blood appointment.
So
didn't think that's
that's where you start to see some potential criminal conduct.
Sorry about that. I
Let's
think
go to
Vinny
this.
and I, we would work well together. While he's thinking, I could talk. What do you think, everybody? We should email Vinny and tell him he needs somebody to help him, and I need somebody.
Blank completed a sworn written statement to the Orange County deputies to the following. Blank stated on 2/26/24 at approximately 0800 hours, she saw Maddie getting ready for school at 0800 hours. Is that a lie?
We don't know.
Is that
Everything
a lie?
has been so far. I'm not sure.
Right? You cannot lie to investigators. You can't.
No.
That's what was the only thing they got Casey Anthony on, right? That and the forged check. But some of that was problematic on appeal too. Okay.
Yeah, Casey Anthony. That was the biggest case since that they've seen
She
in
saw
Florida.
her at 0800 getting ready for school. Blank stated Stephen Stearns took her to school and dropped her off close to school. That statement, she could say, well, that's what he told me.
Thank you for being a good person, Wendy.
It's based upon what he told her. So that I don't think is, because that's what he's telling everybody. So that I don't know if that is a misleading police, unless there's evidence that she knew she wouldn't be able to go to school because she knew that she wasn't able to anymore.
She was there the whole time.
She's saying at 800 hours. Stated Stefan took her to school, dropped her close to the school. Said Stefan dropped her off on Town Boulevard between Town Center Boulevard and Hunters Park Lane. Jen Soto stated that Stefan dropped her between 8:30 and 8:45. Jen stated, blank stated, never made it to school. Blank went to blank around 1600 hours to pick up. Okay, so she stated that Maddie never made it to school. Around 4 o'clock, she went to go pick her up. She never came out of the school. And Jen stated she searched around the area and then went to her mother's office, but could not locate her. Okay, is that consciousness of guilt?
Is good question. Is that a consciousness of guilt? Now, this time I did pause it because Grandma of 3, I love you, and I love that you're saying stigma rarely exists. It does exist. And I'm not saying this in a bad way to you. I'm telling you, with knowing my children, knowing my son, if I would have told my son that they wanted to test him for being autistic, he already had a problem with being diagnosed with ADHD. He thought it was something bad. My daughter has ADHD. She'll come home and say, Mom, I couldn't do something right today because I have ADHD. Kids carry that stigma around. It's not about you being proud of them. It's about themselves. We can't help what they feel about themselves other than telling them they're beautiful, they're smart, they're lovely, we love them. They carry stigma. So autism, Grandma ×3, I love you for that. But it's not about you or me. It's about them and how they feel. And I pay attention to how my kids feel. And I know my kids wouldn't want that stigma. So that's just my opinion. I love you for you being that way.
That consciousness of innocence. Is that like part of the play acting? Like Stefan, like physically driving back and forth to the school that morning?
Right.
Is she like going through the motion? All right, I'll pretend to pick her up. And then I'll go there and she's not there. And I'll go, oh my goodness, where could she be? And then I'll look around for her and I'll go see my mom.
And I won't call 911. But I'll pretend like I'm anxious because I have anxiety. Thank you, Truth Girl. I love your channel. And I love...
Okay, Detective Tagler with OCSO, Orange County Sheriff's Office, interviewed Stefan during the case. He'd become the lead investigator for the Sheriff's Office. Okay.
No, I don't think... She's not going to escape life, Christine.
Stefan provided consent to search his phone. However, he stated he accidentally performed a factory reset on the phone.
Thank you, Candy Cane. It makes me real
He agreed
angry.
and provided his passcode.
Because he's an idiot.
Passcode.
We're glad he's an idiot. That detective was smooth, right? She talked him right into, oh, let me see your phone real quick. Can you log me in? Oh, and by the way, I'm going to need your phone.
Now, as far as the specific timeline, we had some times initially in all of this, like when the bag was dumped at the back gate in the dumpster with a laptop around 7:35? But this report, not as specific with the times, which is interesting, the supplemental report.
They did.
But here's what they say. Upon reviewing the security video, Detective Tagler observed Stefan's vehicle exiting the complex with a female wearing a green sweater in the front passenger seat. The female was slumped over to her left, which is an abnormal way for a person to be seated in a vehicle.
Yeah.
At that point, Detective Tagler decided to secure the residence for a search warrant.
There you
It's
go.
on the way out. Now, I wish we had the time on that because Jen is saying that she saw her getting ready at 8 o'clock. Like, saw her at 8 o'clock, right? It's very clear. At 8 o'clock, she saw her getting ready for school.
She did say that, everybody, and we know she wasn't alive by then.
Tiffany
That's
Krebs,
not true.
Mom admitted she knew he slept in bed with Madeline. That's a smoking gun. It is, but it isn't.
It's not. Yeah, not for a jury. It's not.
Then you'd have to
Unfortunately.
that what took place in the photographs was going to happen. Like, you'd have to know that was going to happen. You'd have to believe that was going to happen. Right? There's a level of negligence to it, but to what level? Like, is there's no presumption that someone is a pedo. You know what I mean? There's no presumption like that. You'd have to have to prove it in court. You'd have to have some level of knowledge. Now, the admission is huge.
Remember.
But you're missing that one other piece.
that you
He's a
need.
prosecutor. He
You
knows.
need that other piece to be a true accomplice of that conduct. But it's
Otherwise,
close and it's compelling.
It's compelling, folks, but I have people in chat that are saying, what is she being arrested for? I don't understand the law. Just got to get one person on that jury to say the same thing, and she gets off, and you can't do it again. You can't double jeopardy that. Jay's hunches continue to be revealed as his case information is available. I agree about mom and grandparents. Thank you, Teresa. I appreciate you and all of you here today working this out. No, she will get those bracelets. That's why they're taking their time. Tomorrow, her defense is supposed to go on ABC. What is her defense going to say about this? Let's get over 600 likes, folks. And I love working this out with Vinny because he's on 1.25, and while he thinks I talk and vice versa. It's very cool.
And you know what? Like, you have to make your case legally, but if you just took these facts and put them in front of a jury, they would convict her, right? They absolutely would, because they have common sense. 2 + 2 = 4. Plus, once you showed them the picture, it'd be game over. I don't think the judge would allow you to get there.
Thanks, Vinny.
Videos and photos with timestamp. Couldn't they find out where her phone was at those times? Yes, they could.
And they still are.
I don't
They're
know if some
looking.
of them might be too old. But how precise could they be? This is not, it's not a mansion, right? We're not talking, I mean, they don't live in this huge, huge, huge home. It's like 2,200 square feet, and it's like 3 levels up and down. So wherever you are, you're basically next to each other.
I didn't say it. Thank
Even
you,
if you're in a different room.
Jackie. And
Wicked Main, ha. I believe Jen hasn't been charged yet because they're hoping something comes out in Stefan's trial.
no, they're still looking.
Yes and no. Now, the thing that we also don't know is, like, after she was shown that pictures, did she cooperate anymore?
That's a good question. The paperwork hasn't come out. Everybody's waiting for the same paperwork that I'm talking about that I showed you at the beginning of the show. A lot of people say she looked like she was 2 or 3 months pregnant. To me, she just looked like she was a teenager growing up. I don't know about that. That's one of the speculations. Gross negligence, absolutely. Oh, you lost electric. You're signing off. Have a good night. Good night, Crime to Remember. I hope to hear from you soon. Maybe we'll get a Watts Wednesday tomorrow. Somebody asked about the ABC show. Jen Soto's defense team or attorneys may be on ABC. It's all speculation tomorrow morning. Watch out for it. People, if you see that, email me. I'd like to hop on tomorrow with you and talk things out. And yeah, more charges would be added if she was pregnant. You're absolutely right. See, 110%, like I like to say, and they haven't been. Thank you, Jojo. Again.
Did she continue the conversations? Did she get a lawyer? Did she just zip it up? What did she do after she was confronted with the actual photograph of this conduct?
And why did
she not provide?
Say that?
I mean, that's the moment, right? That's the moment where me as a prosecutor, that's the key moment. How do you react to that? Do you now come to me and say, what can I do? How can I help you get the man that did this to my daughter?
Oh, no.
Whether it's you in person or your lawyer. What can I do? What information do you need? Was she 1,000% cooperative from that point forward? Because if she's not, she flunks the parent test and the red flag goes up under the prosecution test. If her reaction at that moment is not, here I am, let me help you. I can give you days, I can give you times, I can give you whatever you need. I can tell you everything I know. Or do you just zip it up and say nothing while they're still looking for your daughter? Because remember, at this point, she's still missing. The point of these interviews, she's still missing. It's not.
Now, I also want to tell you guys, we're getting to 1 hour and 40 minutes, but I do want to tell you this is the same lady that consoled the devil when her daughter was missing. She actually did not see her at that time. She consoled this man that she handed her daughter to when he was crying about whatever. He was crying for himself because he knew he had messed up. He said to the cops that morning his head was so far up his behind. He was trying to act like a little innocent sheep when he was a wolf in sheep's clothing. If she had autism, then why did they let her walk all the way from church to school? Good question, Omar. If she had autism so bad that she couldn't remember her numbers, why'd they let her stay home? Why'd they not take her phone to school? Why? Why? Thank you, Omar. And I love you. I love all of you. I love getting men's perspective on this case. There's so many ladies here. We're starting to get a lot more men coming in. Yeah, crocodile tears. But she consoled that devil that she handed her daughter over to. Do you understand that? She did that. She might be able to walk if she testifies against him. They already have a solid case. I was thinking that too. That might give her a deal feeling, but they already have a solid case on Stephen Stearns. So I don't think that they're going to use her in that way. I think what they're actually doing is Benny Miracle. But yeah, what they actually are doing, everybody, is trying to get the information together. Everybody's waiting for paperwork. And I know it because I'm behind the scenes with the same people that are waiting for the paperwork to come out. They're examining, they're swabbing, they're waiting for the details for the swabs. They swab the cars, they swab the house. We're all just waiting. And yes, I hope she gets outstepped. I'm glad we have 598 over 9,000. Hit that like button. Thank you, blah, blah, blah. I appreciate you. They need to televise in jail. You know, I hope that ABC comes on tomorrow. I don't know if you're saying hi or bye, but hello and bye. So tomorrow morning, everybody, ABC is supposed to be airing Jennifer Soto's defense team. And we don't even know who that is yet. We don't know what happened. We don't know how she paid for it. We don't know if her mom's paying for it. We don't know if her dad's paying for it. We know she didn't have money. So what is happening here? Yeah, so Stephen Stearns actually admit that he did it. I thought he wasn't talking. Yeah, no one said Stephen Stearns had actually admitted that he did it. But they have a rock solid case on the 60 charges for the essaying, and then they have his tire tracks where he had a flat tire where the body was found, and they have the vehicle swap. They have a rock solid case on him. Trust me when I say that, Zora Brown. He did not admit it, and he's either going to cut a deal to not get the DP, or he's going to go to trial, and we're going to watch it play out. But he is not getting off, and they're not cutting Stephen Stearns any deals. Opal says, thank you, Jen, is so much guilty. Yeah. Thank you for, yeah, exactly. It's all a bunch of lies. Plus the pictures, those don't lie. We're not even talking about was the flat. Yeah, there actually was a flat tire, everybody. JD, there was a flat tire. He told the cops about the flat tire, except he lied to them, and he told them that he pulled off into a parking lot, that there was a shopping center parking lot. He didn't want to implicate himself on the side of the road where Maddie's memorial is. Oak Tree. I have Maddie's memorial address if someone could drop it in chat. Yeah, I know she has a GoFundMe. She's gonna probably use that, but that's not enough money to pay for a good lawyer, folks. So she, where Maddie's memorial is where he dropped her off, her body. That's where his flat tire was, across the street. He told the cops he had a flat tire and pulled into a parking lot of where there was a plaza. So yes, he did have a flat tire. I know that now. Yeah, 16,000 is not enough for a defense. They want 10,000 up front right away for a defense attorney. That's mediocre, and then it costs thousands more. 16,000 will get you nothing. Believe me when I say that I've been studying this for a very long time. I hope it's not Jose Baez too, but if it is, that's going to be interesting. That's going to be really interesting. Yes, thank you, Deb Basile. It's nothing at all. That's trash. Thank you, Julio. I only speak facts, and if I'm not speaking facts, I'll tell you that it's just alleged, or I'm just giving you theories. It's not. Yeah, I'm not here to just BS y'all. All right, y'all. We've been here for an hour and 45 minutes working this out. Now that you guys all got gifted a ton of memberships from all of these lovely ladies and people, I don't exactly know who. I got super stickers, super chats, gifted memberships right and left. I want you guys to thank everybody for that. And I want to tell you I love you. And I want you to go watch that video now. For everybody that got gifted a membership, folks, go watch that video. It's going to drop at midnight. It's a members only first, and then you can watch it. So when midnight comes, I'm at almost 6 o'clock. You can watch it if you're not a member. Please go watch that video, like, share. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Our goal is to get the roommate back on the channel so we can answer all the questions you have about Maddie's demeanor, about her reaction to her ex-roommate / ex-friend. They were friends. She's gay. Madeline Soto was bisexual. We can ask her anything we want. We just need to get her back on the show. The only way we can do that is by getting the likes and the subscribes up and the questions, so I can get more questions to bring her on. She's so heated, everybody. CM is very heated. Great job, mods. Yes, Susie Dupree's a new member. Now that you're a new member, you can go watch the new video that just dropped. It is not a live like my normal things. Let me show you real quick before we head out so you know what I'm talking about. I want to show you the new video that I dropped today, and it's got the roommate. You know the roommate had to come back. CM had to come back and say something now that she knows. There was a question of how she felt. There's a question no more, folks. There's no longer a question. So there is the video, and it's a members first. Okay, so there it is. It's called Jennifer Soto, Maddie Autistic. Hope I spelled that right. Maddie Autistic and Sleeping with the Devil. Ex-roommate CM responds, arrest Jen. Okay, so go to my video section. If you're a new member, you can watch that. I love Plunder too. Joyce Batista, I love what you're bringing us. Thank you so much. Thank you, Joyce. I have more comments to read. I have more information coming. I have exclusive information coming from that side of the camp. No, you didn't miss a live. It's a video. So go watch that video, everybody. Now that you have a membership, I love each and every single one of you. I'm wearing the same shirt I was wearing this morning because I filmed it this morning. Go watch it, like, subscribe, and leave a message for the ex-roommate. Julio, I love you. Thanks for sending the love and dropping it. Hashtag arrest Jen Soto. On that note, I'm out of here. I love each and every single one of you. Have a good night. Justice for Maddie. Hashtag arrest Jennifer Soto.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty?